Boil.
Hey everybody, welcome to the morning briefing. This is Sean Hartigan, captain of the Mission Belle. Sean, thanks for having us over to your place, man.
You're welcome.
We're spending the night with Sean and his lovely girlfriend, Mimi. Come here, Mimi. We got to get the best fisherman in the crowd in here,
always.
right? To say hello. Yeah, pop in here. Say hi to everybody, Mimi. All right, are you fishing tomorrow?
No.
Oh, come on. She should go with one of us. All right, thanks, Mimi. All right, hey, this is a special edition of the morning briefing because normally I'm standing in front of a beach filling you in about fishing from Mexico all the way up. But today, actually, Sean Hartigan is not here right now, and neither am I. He's on the Mission Belle, and I'm on the Malihini, and we're going fishing. And we have this unique opportunity to talk to you about what is going on because guys like Tino Valentine who run the Freedom, he tells me he's never seen this much Dorado around. So I want to hear it from you. What is going on down here? What are you seeing?
There's a lot of fish moving up. We've had quite a few hurricanes down south pushing that, giving a big south swell, pushing a lot of fish, a lot of warm water. So now we got water at 73, 74 degrees with droves of Dorado coming up, moving up and down the coast all the way up to LA. They've come through San Diego, they've gone past, and there's still more coming. Yeah. And then now we've got yellowfin showing up. Yellowfin are mixing with the bluefin too. Anywhere from like 20 to 40 pound fish, and then there's been some bigger bluefin out fishing out by San Clemente. Just kind of, it's a grab bag of everything that you want to catch right now. It's crazy.
All right, so first of all, before we get into all those particulars, and we're going to get into the Mission Belle, how do we get on board with you? Where do you run out of? What's the deal?
We run out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. You go on the internet, pointlomasportfishing.com. You look at the schedule, and then you check out our trips. We do have quite a handful of charters this month, but if you check on our open party trips, we do have some available during the middle of the week. I think it's running about $250 a trip, and then rentals and everything else, galley and all that stuff is also extra.
All right, so let's talk about tackle. What kind of tackle do people need to bring on these trips right now? And then we'll get into the specifics about how to get a bite. But what should they bring? What's the variety of tackle?
So if I was going to go fishing on a full day trip, for example, I'd have something in the 20 to 25 pound class, a 30 pound rod and a 40 pound rod. And if you have that, you'll be pretty much set for all sorts of fishing. You can fly line on all three of those rods. You can fish a jig on the 40 pound and kind of do that kind of stuff. But it seems like live bait's been definitely the go-to and the key to catching and having success.
And any particular way to hook the bait that's more effective?
Butt hooking or a shoulder hook has definitely been a lot better. It seems like those fish haven't been up on the surface a lot. They've been kind of swimming down and staying a little bit below the water column. So you get that butt hook sardine, swim that thing down there, and then you've been getting a bite. You just got to be very, very wary of your bite and make sure, because they've been picking baits pretty easily.
Lighter tackle, is that a factor?
Yeah, definitely. 20 pound test and a smaller hook is always probably going to catch you more fish.
Okay, define smaller hook. What, like a 2?
Like a size 2, or size 2 is probably about as small as you want to go. Sometimes people go up to 4s, but I don't think that's necessary right now.
Yeah, and you guys have what, Dean for bait down there?
Yeah, I've been fishing sardines. We're getting some anchovies too, though. They've been nice anchovies actually, and that was kind of the key before with those Dorados. Slip on one of those anchovies and slide them out there and you catch one.
Okay, cool. How far do you have to run before you start finding? Can you find a patty really close to the point?
Yeah, there's been fish within 10 miles.
Wow.
There's 9 mile banks right there, and there's definitely been turns and stuff like that. You're seeing the fish, but we kind of try to keep moving. We don't want to get stuck in that skiff traffic and things like that. So we go about 20, 30 miles from there, and then we're in the meat,
And of course, you're looking for a kelp, but there's been free swimming. Do you ever get a blind jig strike on these things?
Yeah, the jig strike's not so much as of late. I feel like that's coming more. There's been a lot of bait in the water, so that's been kind of the big thing that we've been fighting against lately. But there's definitely open schools of Dorado up foaming, frothing on sardines and little anchovies and all that stuff. And then you go quarter of a mile, and then there's yellowfin tuna, and then you go to the next one and you find a kelp, and there's yellowfin tuna, Dorado, and everything. And it's just you're seeing whales eating anchovies. I mean, it's been a pretty wild summer so far.
It sounds like the ocean's just alive right now, huh? I mean, You're seeing the whales and everything else.
Yep. Oh yeah, whales, dolphins. You're seeing all kinds of molas everywhere. Seen some sea turtles too. It's been a neat summer as far as that kind of stuff going on.
And what's your feeling about how long this lasts? It should continue, right?
I hope so.
I mean, we're moving into our best weather months.
Yeah.
And the water's warm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know the water's super warm right now, so hopefully we keep that and that continues, and we don't get a lot of push from the north and that cold water, and get a couple more hurricanes down south, and hopefully that'll be the Indian summer we're hoping for.
Yeah. Now, a moment ago, you said we were dealing with too much bait in the water. So I know there's somebody out there that's like, what do you mean too much bait? What's the problem?
So you're driving, and then it's springtime, so everything's having babies, everything's hatching, all this stuff. So now you're rolling around and everything's got, super micro bait, small baits, and then we're throwing a sardine that's this big, and they're eating something this big. It's
they don't want to come off that.
They're not going to change it, and it's easier. It's easier to catch. It's easier to eat, especially when it's all balled up like that.
Yeah.
And so we were driving miles and miles and miles and miles through bait all the time.
Wow.
And then going, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, geez. And then now the fish found that bait, and then the fish came up, and then that's when you start getting the foamers and all that stuff, and then kind of just got to wait a little bit, be patient for that to go away, and then it's game on.
So by go away, you mean the fish consume all the small bait that's around, right?
Yeah, it gets eaten. It gets eaten or it escapes. It goes somewhere else.
And you mentioned, I don't know if you did or not, but what's the water temp now?
About 73 degrees.
Yeah, you did.
Right
is that unusually warm?
No, that's right about normal for what it is. It's been a little bit warmer too, but it's it's that big push from the south that hurricanes, there's a handful of hurricanes that have pushed up a lot of warm water.
Yeah. So the yellowfin that you're seeing, what grade is that?
That's about 20 pounds, 20 to 30 pound fish. And then you've been seeing a little bit of little ones too, like some 8-pounders have been mixed in there. But we haven't caught any of those ones. We just see them.
Yeah, right. So is it difficult finding kelps? Are kelps easy to find now, or is it tough?
It's been hit or miss. Our biggest problem on the weekends is skiff traffic. You got 100 guys in front of you in competition that can go 10 times faster than you, but we prevail most of the time. We figure it out and put something together.
You guys are pros, man. I tell you. So bluefin, is that around? How big is it? What's the best way to get a bite?
Bluefins. That's the whole thing. The bluefin have been up in the foamers with the yellowfin, at least for the stuff that we've been fishing. Yeah. So it's kind of, you get in there and you catch a couple yellowfin, and all of a sudden one guy's got a bluefin on, and that's kind of same thing. Fly line bait, throwing it out there, letting it go.
Better than fishing the iron?
I think so. As of right now, yeah, it's been better. Fishing live bait has definitely been the key to success.
Are you a fluorocarbon guy or not?
Yes and no. I mean, do I have it tied on every time I go fishing? No, I don't, because sometimes I don't have enough time, or I'm not paying attention, or I wasn't ready. But does fluorocarbon work? Absolutely. I love fluorocarbon.
How's your weather been lately?
Weather's been wonderful.
It's been nice and
hot,
flat, right?
Very, very hot.
Has it?
Oh yeah.
So I got to get my sunscreen on my
head?
Wear
some sunscreen. Definitely. Bring a big hat.
We should mention that this residence here, I mean, besides Mimi and you, there's another person who lives here, a real celebrity in the sport fishing industry, Scott Bucher.
Yep, Scott Bucher.
Yeah. How's that living with him?
It's fine. Scott's
When's the last time you saw a psychologist?
No, it's been a while.
Well, you probably should, a little time with Scott will drive you nuts.
Right.
So we've got yellowfin, we've got Dorado. When Tino tells me he's never seen this much Dorado in his life, do you concur?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been alive a lot longer than I have, but yeah, definitely.
I mean, but what you're seeing?
Yeah, no, in my lifetime, yeah, absolutely. This is a lot of fish.
So he tells me you find a kelp, like that, and there's hundreds of Dorado.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You find a regulation size hotel, and there's thousands of them.
Yeah, but sometimes you find the big ones and there's nothing under them. It's kind of, that's the weird thing about it. It's been hit or miss for sure. It's definitely been like, you find the right one, and it's like you find 10 kelps in a day, and then all of a sudden the 11th one, that's the one.
Right.
And you catch, you might scratch away and catch a couple fish here or there, but just for some reason that one kelp is it, and that's where they are.
A lot of the guys listening, they've been fishing a long time. Some guys though that are coming to our channel are new. So I just want to get a little rudimentary and emphasize, if you agree, how important it is to choose a really good hot bait, and how do you identify that bait?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, that's the biggest, most important thing is choosing a good live bait. For me, my biggest thing is I look for no red marks. I don't want any red marks on it. I don't want, also when I go to the bait tank, I don't want that sardine just going like this into a wall. Because if you saw someone run into a wall like that, you probably wouldn't want to talk to them either.
You want one that's
I
like
want one
moving
that goes
around.
to the corner, looks to the corner, it churns. It goes to the other corner, it churns. It goes to, it's never stuck. It's never stuck anywhere, and it goes there. And if you can't find something like that, then you try to find one that you can pick up and it's trying to get away from you. That's my other biggest tip of advice. Because sometimes right now in the summertime, we don't have the best baits. That's the way it is. The water's too hot. It's going through different temperatures all the way from the coast out to offshore. So you kind of have to use what you got. And so that's one of the big things is like, sometimes the fishing is so good that it doesn't matter what the bait condition is. You just have to have a bait in the water.
Right, right. Fish love moving water. And when we're fishing islands or the coast, the tides play an important role.
Absolutely.
Do they play a role offshore? I mean, do you see like fish on a kelp that are not biting and then all of a sudden the light switch goes on
Yeah.
and it coincides with the tide? Or is it something that you just don't know why the light switch?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I couldn't. You start trying to make rhyme or reason to fishing, you're going to go crazy. That's just the way it goes. And it's like, is it relative? I think so. When water starts moving and things start happening, absolutely. That is going to be a definite addition to having fish bite.
Yeah.
That's definitely for sure. But I don't. Is it related to all that stuff in the grand scheme of things? Most likely, I would think so. I'd have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you caught any yellowfin on the iron? Is that
not
a thing or
no,
not?
not yet. No.
It's all bait.
Yeah.
And it's all light line.
Yeah, it's been nothing on the iron, but we've been fishing the stick bait a lot. That Shimano Colt Sniper stick bait.
Is that working?
Yeah, it's been working a little bit. It's you got it right place, right time kind of thing.
How about fish on the troll? Are you getting anything on those Mad Mags?
Mad Scads and all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been fishing that. We've been fishing some other stuff, feathers, smaller feathers.
Are they getting bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Nothing crazy though. Most of our stuff has been visual, so we're seeing it by the time that we're going. We already got people on the bow or people set up in the back getting ready to throw live bait. So the trolling thing hasn't really been an issue for us because we didn't really need the opportunity to troll.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about the human side of this as a captain just for a second. And that is, you leave at, what time do you leave? 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave at 6, back in at 6, sometimes later.
No, never 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, you have a small window in terms of time. The clock starts ticking right away.
Absolutely.
And that time can be a big enemy, right?
Yeah,
it's tough, right?
Absolutely.
Because you zig. I mean, you get hung up on big bluefin, you blow a bunch of time, you're screwed there.
Blow a bunch of bait.
You go the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is that like? As you got your ear out the window and you hear somebody down on deck saying, "Boy, I don't know why the captain's going this way," or is it tough? Is it rough?
I mean, yeah, sometimes my biggest thing is everyone becomes a professional when fishing's tough.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone becomes a professional, and they're going to tell you that they did this with their friend and that, and it's like, I can tell you right now that I'm trying my best and I'm trying to do everything in my power to catch fish. And if I did zig when I should have zagged, I'm sorry, but that's just kind of the mistake that I take. Because sometimes I zag when I should zag and I catch a lot of fish, and we catch a lot of fish and have fun. And so that's been the biggest thing. It's don't give up on someone just because the fishing's tough. If you had a good time, that's a big part of it as well. Fishing's also an addition, but it's an experience. You go out there, you experience. You might learn something new that you would have never have known if you did have good fishing, or you didn't have the opportunity to sit there and talk to somebody or do something like that. So you gotta focus on the experience on things more than, oh, they caught fish, we had fun. Yes, you did. But then what was your experience like? Because if you caught fish and you were a jerk all day, did you make any friends? Did you have anything? Did you gain anything from that? Or you just have a couple more fish in your freezer and that's it, and then you're going back again?
100%.
But it does happen. Is there pressure there? Absolutely. But that's what drives me, because then the next day I want to catch 200 more,
Yeah, right.
or better, yeah.
And people don't realize you're up there burning your eyes out, aren't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you're working so hard.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you guys work harder on the days when you don't catch.
Absolutely.
Or it's more frustrating and you're burning your eyes out. You got everybody up,
Absolutely, yeah, because you think about it. If we're driving, if that boat is moving and we're out and we're actively fishing, my eyes are I'm in the binoculars.
Yeah.
The whole time. And if I'm not, someone else is. And if they're not, someone else is. There's always someone in the binoculars at all times. And if not, there's always 2 guys. And that's huge. Huge.
All right, huge question for you. Yep. What the hell happened to my albacore prediction again this year?
Couldn't tell you.
Well, leave it to me to predict albacore, and there's more tropical fish, subtropical fish.
Yeah.
The exact opposite of albacore.
Yeah.
Dorado crawling everywhere.
Yeah.
And you mentioned just a second ago that this fish is pushed up there toward Clemente and all that.
Yeah.
Sean Morgan came up on a yacht not that long ago and caught freaking Dorado.
Oh, yeah.
From Todos Santos, just
believe
coming
it.
around the Cape.
Oh, yeah, I believe
all
it.
the way freaking up.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 miles of Dorado
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah,
or
no,
what?
it's wild. It's thank God.
Yeah, I know. And it doesn't take too long. I think they're one of the fastest growing fish in the sea. So, like, if we're still catching these things in October, they're
probably-
conceivably going to be a lot bigger,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, shoot, man. I mean, this is a great morning brief, and I don't know what you all think. It was great to have Mimi join us. Bob Gifford is over there. He's not going to join us.
That's okay.
Sean, finally, when are we going
Yeah.
to do like a 2-hour podcast with you?
Soon.
We got to do that.
Definitely.
All right.
Wintertime.
All right. This is not like the usual morning briefing. I'm not going to cover the rest of it with you because I'm busy on the Malihini right now, and we're out there with Sean. He's on the Mission Belle. Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow with another morning briefing.